There's real things going on right now. I feel like we can actually, as citizens, call a state of emergency of attacks, just like our president has been doing to implement this terrorism on us citizens. He's used this over and over again to put troops in cities and is continuing to try to do so as he disintegrates before our eyes. His mind, his body, everything is just disintegrating right before us, and yet it's still going on. It's absolutely, like I said, I could use the word insanity, but we are so beyond that. It's unsafe. It's an emergency, and I'm not an attorney, but we have to flip this because we are not safe from our administration and everyone he employs internally in our country, and now we're not safe from the external forces of our country. You see Trump posting that he bombed a Venezuela boat the other day and killed 11 people. You see Putin and China and all gathering together, the world leaders who are really, we just keep secluding ourselves from our friends and our allies like Canada and Mexico and South America and Europe and Eastern Europe, and it's just purely a state of an emergency now, and I really believe this. I'd like to leave it at that, but I'm going to go on because I saw some video footage of the meeting, the AI meeting they had last night, and it seems as though Melania is speaking for AI, which she has absolutely zero background in, none, neither does her husband. But yet she is speaking to the nation and at these meetings with the tech people. So if you see the clip, you will see our leader, which I use loosely, and next to him on one side is his wife, which I also use the word loosely because she's finally showing up now that he's really going down the tubes. I mean, really, folks. So is this all we have, America? This is what this administration has given us. This is what's in charge at the table last night. You have a model at the left side of him, and no offense to models at all. And I know men from when I was growing up, so men his age and older, I know men that are still like this. They love the fact that he's married to a model, and I have nothing against models. But I know how men love them from, I didn't know there was actually men that cared more about real qualities of women that come from within also, or only, until I was in my 20s. So, one thing I wanted to say about Donald Trump is he said last night yesterday when he was confronted during a meeting by the press, not confronted, asked, I don't know if you've seen the video footage of something being thrown out of the White House window. It's really strange. Somebody got this on footage and it's like garbage bag or two being thrown out the window of the White House. So somebody asked Donald about this during a press conference, and he said that all the windows are sealed on the White House. They're bulletproof. They're absolutely sealed. We don't even have access to open them. And that Melania even wanted the windows open so she could get fresh air. Well, you know what? If that's what Melania really wanted, she's absolutely right, because I don't know how the White House works, but I know how housing works in my state. The fire marshal would never approve a house where all windows are not capable of being open for safety reasons. There's no way they can be sealed all the time. And again, it's not the White House, but there's fire hazards, there's smoke hazards, there's people need fresh air like he said his wife needed for health and well-being. Maybe she wanted it for other reasons. Maybe she was throwing out his trash out the window. We really don't know what happened, but he blamed it on AI, which was quite interesting. I mean, we really can't believe anything that comes out of their mouth. But one thing I certainly don't believe is that they don't have access to windows opening, because anything can happen at any time during the day or night in the White House, and they have, I don't know, hundreds of people there at all times. They even have guests there. So I don't know. That just sounds like another cover-up to me, which, again, isn't working for me either. Another thing I wanted to remind us of today is guns. Yes, this week's shooting. Oh, I have French macaroons on my notes. In lieu of the French president or prime minister, I think he's really been standing up for the right things lately, and I thought I would just put that on the back of here. They're so beautiful. But back to guns. The shooter this week, or was it last week already, was horrifying. It was the first week of school. We had another gun shooting, mass it's called, because they just get to the school and they get their shooting. You cannot stop these people. My kids grew up with metal detectors in their later years. You can't stop them. And you couldn't stop this young man. He shot through the church windows while the children were praying, because he didn't have to get in. He just shot through the windows. So many were hurt. Some children were killed. I believe it was an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. And again, you still had the Republicans saying it wasn't guns, it's the person. Yet we're being stripped of our health care, our mental health care systems. And guns are still in the forefront. This person had 3 assault weapons with him. I saw the press conference myself in real time, the first one that day. It was a pistol, a shotgun, and a rifle that this person had. And just a reminder, when you hear a school shooting happened, what do you think of right away? You think it was a young white man, right? I mean, we've even had mass shootings at parks here, and they were young white men. I mean, 99.999999 are white males that do the shootings. They have access to their parents' guns, or whoever guns. Their parents' guns, they're at the house. This last one had access to 3. And I think one was a female last year, and the rest were all males. Some people are bringing up trans. Again, it's less than 1%, okay? And don't take away people's health care. Take away people's guns. Other people do it. It's really not a problem. What the problem is, this country goes too far with the money and the lobbying for gun rights. It's out of control. Somebody's child is next. Somebody's grandchild is next. And if that doesn't hit you in the heart, because my kids are out of school, I had to go through it for years. They had to go through it for years. Now, grandchildren are in school for people my age and older. Now, it could be someone's grandchildren or child, and it's going to be again. It's just a matter of time. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Do you understand that quote? It's not a matter of if it's going to happen again. It's a matter of when it's going to happen again, because it is. And then it goes away and we forget about it again until it happens again. And then it goes away. And then it happens again. Something has to be done about these guns that are being easily accessible. And I also wanted to talk about the victims this week, talking again at the press conference, because these women are so strong. It was bipartisan, It brought Republicans and Democrats together. It brought everyone together. And as it should, these victims are being stronger than people, those of us that aren't even Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell victims. Do you realize that? Let's say that again. These women survivors of what they've been through and will have sit with them for the rest of their lives, and their young kids and their husbands, in their everyday life, they're surviving this. They actually came out and they're being stronger than people that aren't victims, which again to me is insanity. But insanity is just a word that doesn't describe the truth of what's really going on here. The cover-up of the cover-up of the cover-up of the powerful men with power and money, that to them, they will not give up over anything, over a woman's well-being, over a family's well-being, their own family, or the victim's well-being. They will just not let go of this. And this country needs a wide awakening. And I hope those girls and the rest of our country come together and get those Epstein files out, all of them,